Bonjour and welcome to the DMC's Introduction to Tapestry and Needlepoint. The aim of this video is to explain what these techniques are, give you an overview of the beautiful pieces you can achieve, as well as an introduction to the basic supplies you need to get started. For both tapestry and needlepoint, the design is pre-printed or painted onto the canvas, which makes tapestry and needlepoint an incredibly beginner-friendly craft that is really relaxing. Tapestry uses small diagonal stitches throughout. These repetitive stitch techniques make it a very rhythmic and relaxing stitching experience. With simple tapestry, there are no complicated charts to follow or difficult stitches to learn. You are just stitching using the same stitch, following the colours already painted on the canvas for you. Needlepoint uses a broader range of stitches and threads to add decorative textures. It uses combinations of different threads, and some makers even create their own stitch designs. It is more creative and gives stitchers more opportunity to play with different threads and stitches. These are the basic supplies you will need. Canvas. There are different types and sizes of canvas that can be used for tapestry and needlepoint. It is an open weave of mesh squares woven as a single thread or mono canvas, or double-threaded canvas with threads running in pairs. The count of a canvas tells you how many stitches fit into an inch. So the higher the number, the finer the canvas and the smaller your stitches will be. The size of the canvas you use needs to work with the thread you are using, as the thread needs to completely cover the canvas. Tapestry needles. These have a blunt point as they are designed to go through the holes in the canvas without catching. They have a longer eye to make it easier to thread with tapestry wool or soft cotton. They come in a range of sizes. The larger the number, the smaller the needle. Size 18 is a great choice for beginners because it can be threaded with tapestry wool and will pass through the holes of 4-point canvas easily. For younger children starting tapestry, we'd suggest using a 2-point canvas and a larger needle. Tape. Apply this to the edges of your canvas to prevent it fraying and to avoid the yarn or thread getting snagged on the edge as you stitch. Sharp pointed scissors. These will allow you to cut thread cleanly for easier threading, and will also allow you to snip the thread close to the canvas when finishing stitches. For larger tapestry or needlepoint projects, you may want to use a frame. If you do, you'll need a sewing needle and thread in order to tack the canvas to the frame and secure it whilst you stitch it. Let's get started. Tapestries are completed using short diagonal stitches. The same stitch is also commonly used in needlepoint. There are different stitch techniques to create diagonal stitches. They all look the same from the front, but look a little different at the back. Half cross stitch or demi-point is the fastest technique and uses less thread, so it is more economical but doesn't cover the canvas as well and can distort the canvas. Tent stitch or petit point creates long diagonal stitches on the back of your work, which makes it more durable. It uses more thread but is ideal for cushions or homeware that need to be harder wearing. Cut a length of tapestry yarn about the same length as your forearm and thread your needle. You can start stitching wherever you like on the canvas, but it's a good idea to start with the lighter colours first, so I'm starting with the white. This is so that you don't pull the darker colour ends through to the front of the canvas. So I'm going to show you how to do half cross stitch demi-point first. To begin stitching, tie a simple knot in the end of the thread. Then, going from the front of your fabric to the back, push the needle through a hole that is about 4 centimetres from where you want to start stitching on the same row. Don't worry, you will cut this waist knot off once you've stitched over the tail of the thread, so it won't be there when you have finished. Each half cross stitch is worked on an intersection of the canvas. Looking at the intersection where you want your first half cross stitch, bring the needle up in the bottom left and then bring it down in the top right to complete the first stitch. Continue working from left to right, creating all the stitches in the same way. On the back of your work, this will create short vertical stitches. I'll just finish this row and then I'll show you on the back. And here you can see the short vertical stitches and snip. Now I'm going to show you tent stitch or petit point, which can be worked diagonally or horizontally. Begin in the same way as the previous technique with a waist knot, but this time it should be to the left of where you want to begin stitching. This time you're going to work from right to left. Insert the needle and bring your waist knot up to the top. Looking at the first intersection you're going to stitch, bring the needle up in the bottom left and then down in the top right, making a diagonal stitch over the intersection. Continue stitching from right to left, bringing your needle up through the bottom left and down top right. This will create long diagonal stitches at the back of your work, completely covering the canvas and anchoring the tail of your yarn, so that when you get close to the waist knot you tied, you can snip it off. I'll just finish this row and then I'll show you the stitches on the back. Here are the long diagonal stitches on the back. To secure the end of the yarn, simply flip your work over and push your needle under the last 3 or 4 stitches you have worked and snip. Many people prefer to work in diagonal rows of tent stitch, as this can help create a more even look. We hope you have enjoyed this introduction to tapestry and needlepoint. If you'd like to get stitching, we have lots of individual stitch and technique tutorials to help you. DMC also sells kits that will provide you with everything you need to get started. Thanks for watching!